We are just days away from the start of a brand new era for WWE. That is their Netflix era. Alrighty, everyone, I am here today to make some WWE Raw on Netflix predictions because this is a big show. I think there's a lot of anticipation going into it that we are expecting WWE to pull out all the stops. At least I know I am for sure. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are too. You're expecting them to really put their best foot forward when it comes to their Raw debut on Netflix because this is the potential. They have the chance to grab some new fans, either people that have never watched pro wrestling before, casuals, or maybe just people that I don't know used to watch wrestling before or and then stopped and maybe they'll come back. I don't know. The point is that you definitely want to get more people's eyeballs on your product. So what will WWE on Netflix look like? So today I'm going to go ahead and run down the card, share some predictions, and talk about some of the things that may or may not be happening. And then let's see how wrong I'm going to be once the actual show goes down. All right, so I want to kick things off, I think, with the biggest part of what we're wondering. Is The Rock going to come out, right? That is a big thing because the Rock's future on WrestleMania. There's been a lot of question marks in the air as to whether or not we're going to see The Rock there. I know reports have been going around saying that Rock is not slated to be at WrestleMania as of right now. However, as we all know, things can change. Now, I do think that Raw on Netflix will be a massive indicator, clearly, as to whether or not we're going to see a Rock WrestleMania match this year. So I know that I believe it was said on the Raw Netflix kickoff show that CM Punk versus Seth Rollins is going to be the main event of Raw. And then, of course, we ended the USA Network era of Raw with that amazing freaking back and forth segment between CM Punk and Seth Rollins, right? So that is supposed to be the anticipated main event. Now, let's just say, just throwing it out there. I don't know. Let's just say that The Rock does come out. Let's say The Rock all of a sudden, last minute decides, hey, man, I'm going to be at Raw on Netflix and we're going to start building towards my WrestleMania match. Let's just say that happens last minute. Because I can't imagine if The Rock is going to show up. I can't imagine The Rock being in the opening segment, right? Because let's say, Punk, Seth Rollins main event, right? That would mean that Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa would be the opener because they ain't going to smack Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa right dead center of the show, right? Like that's not where I would imagine that match to be. So let's just say that's what we get, right? But if The Rock is supposed to be there, again, I can't picture The Rock in the opening segment of the show. Like The Rock is going to close out the show if The Rock shows up. But how do you get around the fact that Seth Rollins CM Punk is supposed to be the main event? So hear me out. If suddenly The Rock is going to be at the premiere of Netflix, I do think we'll end up kicking off the show with like some sort of crazy brawl. Like instead of getting like right to like the first scheduled match or whatever, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, some crazy brawl has broken out backstage. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, they're going at it. Putazos, whatever you want to say. They're getting in there and they're freaking fighting each other. They can't keep their hands off each other. They go from backstage into the arena and screw it, we're starting the match off now. If something crazy like that happens, then we can anticipate The Rock. However, if Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa kicks off the show, I'm going to be expecting The Rock a lot less. It's still not to say he won't show up, but my chances of seeing him from 100% would probably go down to 50 or 40% chance of seeing The Rock. So how we kick off the show is going to be like a huge indicator of what we're going to get. Again, as of right now, it looks to be CM Punk and Seth Rollins are the main event. So again, that puts The Rock in a big giant question mark. But with that being said, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Who goes over? Who gets the win? This is their first bout against each other. So which direction do they go in? I have been kind of going back and forth on this one. And I think I've been going against I'm stuck between, I love CM Punk. CM Punk's one of my favorite all-time wrestlers. So I'm always rooting for him to get the win versus okay, this is what we're getting here with the story. So if the story indicates this, then this is the person that should win, right? Of course, the big thing here is Will this be the only CM Punk Seth Rollins match? I don't think so. It's very, very hard for me to say that this will be the only CM Punk Seth Rollins match. So, again, two scenarios here, guys. Let's do two scenarios. One, if we have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and CM Punk gets the win, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm not expecting another match. They'll probably still do another one, but I don't think they should. If CM Punk defeats Seth Rollins, that is it, my friends. Call it a day. We are done with this. And then CM Punk is off to World Heavyweight Championship opportunities, in my opinion. All right. However, if Seth Rollins wins, which I do think Seth Rollins should win just to keep this feud going, is Seth Rollins wins, right? But this is how Seth Rollins wins, because here's the thing. Seth Rollins, the only reason I'm saying he should win is during the promo on Raw, he had said that CM Punk was a cancer and that cancer needs to be cut out. I'm sorry, but you can't have a man say that in a promo and then go out and lose the match. So I'm thinking, my prediction here is Seth Rollins fully turns heel in this match because it's sort of been, they've been teetering between the line of good and bad for Seth Rollins, right? I do think Seth Rollins becomes an official heel in this match. I don't know, maybe he wins in some sort of, cheating fashion. The referee's distracted. I don't know. Seth Rollins gets some sort of weapon. Bam, hits CM Punk in the face. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins. Whatever, right? I'm expecting some sort of full heel turn for Seth Rollins if he were to win. So that's the only way that I can see Seth Rollins defeating CM Punk. I can't see him defeating CM Punk cleanly. So I can see him winning in that fashion. And then from there, if Seth Rollins wins, then we can expect to see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble. And I think that's where CM Punk would get his win back. But I do not see the Seth Rollins CM Punk feud going all the way to WrestleMania. I think by the time we get to WrestleMania, I think both Seth and CM Punk will be in two totally different storylines. At least I would hope so, because that's kind of a long ways from now. So, all right, that's where I'm at with CM Punk and Seth Rollins and scenarios that can play out. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Again, huge part of this depends on where we see this on the show. If there's some last minute change where we see this at the end, then I would expect The Rock. If this is at the opening, I would I still want to see The Rock, but who knows? But if The Rock does come out, I would expect The Rock to come out after the match and just kind of do what he did at Bad Blood, where he came out and he was like, pointing or looking at them or whatever he did on the stage. So I'm not really expecting like a Rock promo by any means, although it would be kind of cool, but I don't know. So Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. I am expecting Roman Reigns to get the win here. I want Roman Reigns to move on to bigger and better things. That's where I'm at with this. And I want to see Solo Sikoa work with some other people on the roster. So my prediction here is Roman Reigns goes over. Hopefully we do see The Rock. So that's where I'm at right now with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Let's go ahead and move on. This one's a little bit not a really major prediction. I think everybody's predicting this. And it's the Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley last woman standing match for the Women's World Championship. We all know this has to be the end, guys. And the story's not going to end until Rhea Ripley gets her title back. So predicting Rhea Ripley gets her title back. However, I think everybody and their mothers is predicting the exact same thing. So I'm not necessarily rocking the boat over here with my crazy predictions by any means. I feel like this one's a pretty straightforward. It might be considered predictable. Definitely considered predictable. All right. Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. So this one here, I do think that Drew McIntyre should get the win, because Drew McIntyre, I kind of wanted to see him run amok. Am I saying that right? Amok. All right. I want to see Drew McIntyre just like go through all these people, because Drew McIntyre had a hell of a 2024 year. I think this guy needs to be rewarded in 2025, and 2025 is here already, baby. So we need Drew McIntyre to just go out there and freaking take out all these people. Sorry. Drew McIntyre takes all these people out, and eventually, who knows, maybe we get to Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Maybe not. We'll see. Drew McIntyre for the win, baby. And then we have Penta El Zero Miedo. So Penta has been getting all these vignettes on the show, so it looks like he's supposed to be making his debut at Raw Netflix premiere, which he should, by the way, because this is going to be in front of a Los Angeles crowd. And Los Angeles, hello, I'm from Los Angeles, and we have a ton of Latinos here, and so a lot of people here love the Lucha Brothers, know the Lucha Brothers, and are going to cheer for the Lucha Brothers. Of course, we're not getting Rey Fenix, but still, Penta. Dude, they even have a freaking store here in I think it's in Pasadena or something. They have a store. So this is the town. This is the place for Penta to essentially come out and make his debut. I think a lot of people are probably expecting him to maybe team up with Rey Mysterio to take on Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. When Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston had that confrontation with the LWO and Rey Mysterio, it kind of felt that way. It kind of felt like maybe Rey wouldn't be teaming with a member of the LWO. It might just be Dragon Lee that he teams with, but I could see them also kind of including Penta in this dynamic. And how cool would it be to see Rey Mysterio and Penta team up together on Penta's debut? I would not be opposed to that. However, I wouldn't necessarily want Penta to join the LWO because I would want Penta to be his own man, stand on his own 2 feet, and do his own thing. However, for one night, I don't see the harm in that. So either way, I'm excited to see Penta El Zero Miedo. So we'll see what we get there. But the other one is John Cena is returning. Obviously, that's it. His farewell year starts now, guys. And there's a lot of questions going around like what we can expect from John Cena. Well, I'm going to have to merge this one too, because in the Raw preview, they've also been promoting that Logan Paul will be returning to the show. As we all know, he is now a Raw superstar. I think on this show, I predict Logan Paul confronts John Cena. We mentioned again, this is the first, Netflix show. We all know that. They're going to want certain things that are mainstream, right? They can kind of go and get some attention from, outlets that don't traditionally cover pro wrestling, right? I think that a Logan Paul, John Cena confrontation will definitely kind of get that kind of buzz going. So I do expect Logan Paul to like have some sort of confrontation with John Cena. I feel like that's the direction they're going to kick things off with on this Raw to give it a little, extra sizzle for the mainstream world. Did I say that right? Probably. You guys get me. So now I want to get to some what ifs and who's, and will be seeing any returns. I do hope to see Becky Lynch return. I think she will be on the show. So I'm going to say Becky Lynch returns. That's not really like a crazy prediction. I also, though, predict that Charlotte Flair will be returning. I think, again, WWE has to give it everything, guys, even if it sounds like, but wait, there's more. I think this is the episode to do but wait, there's more. We need to have that kind of a show because that's going to make things feel a lot more exciting. Like anything can happen and, that's going to generate interest. So I do think Becky Lynch returns, Charlotte Flair returns. And speaking of returns, what about Alexa Bliss? We haven't seen her in a minute. She's somebody that I'm going to also throw in there for a prediction of returns. Whether or not I'm right, we'll find out. But I'm throwing her name in there. I'm just on a roll, everybody. I'm just going to throw everybody in here that's not here. Just kidding. I'm not going to throw everybody in there. And 2 other bonus predictions that I want to make. They're not really like anything too crazy, but I do expect Triple H to at some point, appear on the show and welcome everybody to the Raw Netflix. Raw is Netflix era. I'm expecting that. I would also like, and this is the same thing that I wanted to see at the end of the show. And I did like that they did. I love that they did the montage for the final episode on USA Network where they showed all these Raw memories. But I also think you can do one for the Raw Netflix premiere, right? Because what you're doing is you're welcoming an audience, right? Like, this is our show. But for those that either didn't watch or haven't been around, wouldn't it be great to kick off and to have like another video of being like, this is what WWE is. And then you get, videos of Stone Cold and The Rock and Mankind and The Undertaker and John Cena and all of these people, similar to what we saw with the closing of the show. But I think you can also make it so that we get another one to be like, this is what WWE is. And this is what we're going to bring to the Netflix era. I don't know, just something like that. I'm just going to throw that in there. So I think that's kind of about it in terms of my predictions. I don't know what you guys predict or what you guys think may be happening, or if you see any other outcomes playing out a little differently. Let me know in the comments section below. And also let me know if you're going to be watching, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are. Thank you guys so much as always. If you enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and check out my WWE 2024 PLE rankings, where I rank each and every single WWE 2024 PLE. Check it out. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.